Alright, the Mario movie. Let's talk about it.
We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. When your sink is in trouble, you could call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
The first film of many more to come. The plot is essentially built around Mario and Luigi's life savings going into this commercial to further their plumbing business, only for them to be mocked by their own family and Spike. Shit goes wrong, Mario and Luigi are separated trying to fix a flooding Brooklyn, and Mario ends up in the Mushroom Kingdom, learning that Bowser plans to take over the world with Peach as his wife, using his newfound star, and Luigi is left under Bowser's rule to be sacrificed in honor of Peach and Bowser's wedding. Illumination smashed the visuals on this.
And I smashed into your fucking video. Skibbity hibbity. Greetings and wahoo and whatnot. Much like Mario's smoldery vigorous balls of fire, this movie is fire. I went out and saw this movie with my boy Turbocharged Donkey Kong in glorious 3D. It was like a big old bloated 3DS. Call that shit the Mario 3D Land movie. And I gotta say, it looked and felt magical. Especially Bowser's Ice POV and Donkey Kong's Now You Die punch. I'm not even gonna delve into the movie here, but what I am gonna delve into is my favorite character, Donkey Kong.
Supercharged.
The big ol' ape's mini role in this land of mayhem was to wake up and be a hater.
Dude, is this you flirting? This is painful. I was trying to be nice. You are so embarrassing. A princess would never go out with you.
From the smackdown with Cat Mario to the big finale, he was on Mario's ass every step of the journey. Which I do appreciate because even in the games, they aren't exactly friends most of the time. This brings me to my favorite scene in the entire movie.
Well, at least your brother isn't gonna die because of you. At least you're not gonna die with your dad thinking you're a joke.
And what my dad thinks I'm a joke too.
Yeah, well, your dad's right!
Now this scene to some people seems like a cop-out from having an emotional scene, considering, well, there really isn't any character growth moments in this movie. Unless you count Mario, eating a mushroom. But holy fuck, this scene is fucking hilarious in a way that it feels like a jab at the emotional scenes we see thrown into animated, well, mostly Disney and Pixar films, which there's nothing inherently wrong with them, but let's be fair, they are all so played out to the point where they're mad predictable. And when this movie says, nah, fuck all that emotional bullshit, we wahooing in this motherfucker, it is a unique take that also works a lot better than, well, Mario and Donkey Kong bonding over daddy issues. Because, I mean, right before this scene, and everywhere prior in the movie, these motherfuckers were at each other's throats. Seeing Donkey Kong cut the shit and just say, nah, your daddy right about your receding hairline at 26, head ass, ugly ass, short ass, what are you, 5'9"? The scene even has the fucking sad music build up in the back. God, it's so fucking good. Yeah, so, Corson, you want your video back?
Which was to be expected. Regardless of how you feel about their previous work, animation is something they've always been on top of their game with. The characters, items, and overall look stay very true to the games, which was honestly something that took me by surprise. They had Miyamoto, the creator of Mario, working with them behind the scenes, and that aspect really paid off. All the cool Easter eggs and references within the movie were really well done, such as the GameCube startup for the phone ringing, Charles Martinet existing, Bowser's piano,
Jam with me.
and countless others. Swiftly transitioning into performances, Jack Black carried this movie. Bowser's acting was by far the best of the film. It almost felt like he was the main character. The voice actually felt fitting, and surprisingly, Bowser sounded good speaking in full sentences. You could tell Jack Black really put his all into this role. My man's charisma is on a different level. Going from Kung Fu Panda to this really highlighted his range. The way he was able to switch from being an intimidating villain to the comic relief, and Jack Black dropping his own ideas into the character really added to his charm. I can easily say Bowser was the best character of the movie, and without that brilliant performance, it would not be the same. Without a doubt, a 10 out of 10 brilliant performance from Jack Black. My man has a chance of winning a Grammy for Peaches.
Peach.
Seth Rogen Donkey Kong. Oh my In terms of the voice, it's just Seth Rogen. Like, it's actually just Seth Rogen. But the acting is still great from him. Donkey Kong was one of the most entertaining characters regardless, and the natural voice of Seth Rogen just happened to fit. I'm genuinely stupid, but I thought throughout all the directs and build-up that Seth Rogen was actually Seth Green, and that's who we'd be getting as DK. Like the Family Guy Seth Green, who also did It. Yeah, I'm gonna be real, I don't know either. Chris Pratt. My man received so much backlash and hate going into this. Obviously due to the voice not sounding Italian, but I also knew they were going for a Brooklyn Mario like the Super Show, so it wasn't too big of a deal for me. But I think some others just genuinely thought he sounded dry or dull. However, I actually think Chris Pratt surprised a lot of people after the film. I've seen a ton of praise from the audience and people saying they owe him an apology, which, yeah, he did a lot better than I expected. But I'm not going to go as far as to say it was amazing or anything. He definitely still got outshined by the rest of the cast in my opinion, but his performance was still decent. I liked that they cleaned up some of his lines that people weren't a fan of, and he did well with the iconic phrases. But yeah, overall, I thought Chris Pratt did a good job. I wasn't blown away or anything, but he did his thing. His brother, however, was great in my opinion. Charlie Day killed it as Luigi. I was a little bummed out that he didn't get as much screen time, since they kinda pushed him to the side with the whole kidnapping plot, but it did feel refreshing for it to be someone other than Peach for the millionth time. And even with less screen time, his scenes were still great. I felt Luigi to be way more expressive than Mario, which makes sense considering it's the same in the games as well, and Mario's always been depicted pretty standard, but yeah, Charlie Day was another huge highlight for me, falling just underneath Jack Black. I'd love to see him carry his own film with Luigi's Mansion. They kinda teased it in this movie, and it definitely works. You can feel his adaptation of Luigi. Peach was in a similar boat to Mario in my opinion. I thought Anya Taylor-Joy did a great job of changing Peach into actually having a personality. Sure, it wasn't really game accurate and didn't sound or resemble her at all, but that's honestly better as far as I see it. It's a completely new take on Peach, unless you count games like these, but the voice acting is still a new feel. I also wasn't blown away by her performance either. Still good, don't get me wrong, and above Mario I'd say, but she definitely felt more one-dimensional than the rest of the characters. Don't have too much to say, but she did her job well. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Who would have thought such a weird fucking concept would work so well? If they didn't announce the cast beforehand, I don't think anybody would have guessed this was him. Bravo on the voice acting. Toad felt both accurate to the games in terms of how I think he'd act, but also different because Keegan blew this role out of the water. This has to be the best performance of Toad in all Mario media. Another big highlight of the movie for me. I really enjoyed every scene of this.
I fear nothing.
Anyway, in terms of the other casts, like, not the main character ones, let me just rush through this real quick. Spike was, nah, I didn't really care. I preferred the 1993 adaptation. Shout out Cranky Con, he was good. Fuck it, I'm throwing Diddy in there. Luma was Kamek was hilarious, and who could forget King Ezekiel Kari Payton as the Penguin King? Do you yield? Yes, I do. The post-credit scenes. The first one we get of Bowser performing as Sonic again, this time in much higher quality, was funny. Much appreciated its conclusion. But when I tell you waiting 5+ minutes to see a fucking egg hatch and an added sound clip was not worth it, it wasn't. Like, yeah, that's it. It just straight up wasn't. Could have had Wario and Waluigi with Danny DeVito as Wario, or Pedro Pascal as Waluigi, or Willem Dafoe, either of those, really. This still might happen, actually, and please, this is perfect casting. Since Mario and Sonic are back to competing, this time through movies, if I were to compare everything, I'd say it's definitely better than Sonic 1, but falls short to Sonic 2. I definitely preferred the final battle of Sonic 2. I don't know why, but the star power scene felt kinda underwhelming to me. Thought they definitely could have done more with the climax there. It just kinda like ended. Like, give me some Dragon Ball level fighting or something, but yeah, I don't know. Mario pulling out his Smash Bros. Spike, that I appreciated. The Mario movie was definitely the start of many. With its brilliant animation, great performances, the Easter eggs, there's definitely a lot more movies to be made here. The Nintendo Cinematic Universe is just beginning. I would like Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Mario Bros. 2, Mario World, Galaxy, Legend of Zelda, Kirby, Smash Bros., F-Zero, and Pikmin 4 Earthbound. But we all know the real villain was Francis.
Hi, I'm Daniel.